is another episode of the Uncommon Bond podcast.
Uncommon ejaculate.
Yeah, that's like saying onomatopoeia. That's words they don't go to naturally.
Onomatopoeia.
What's going on, fellas? I see everybody's in the building. You know, I want y'all to introduce yourself. We're gonna start off with my boy with a lot of gray hair on his face. Who's that right there? I don't know. Tell him.
Where he at? That fox, the silver fox. Yo's the humble, the humble entertainer, the GOG. Get the gab. What's up, yo?
All right, we got that dude with the Pretty Ricky's bomber jacket on and the fresh lineup. Who's that right there?
It's definitely fresh. I ain't gonna lie.
My man Ring, what's goody, man? M. Dot in the place in the building, drinking that screw beezy.
Jump the gun, but we all gonna have fun. Mr. Late, but don't have to worry about a date. What's your name over there with the tie-dye sweater?
It's your boy G Gorgeous, still making y'all famous. Make MC rub his head.
He gonna block you on Instagram. Good Yo, Mr. I'm late, but I'm on Instagram and we supposed to be recording the show. Talk to him.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Bottom shelf. I got a picture of that good. We'll get to that later. But all I want to say is, Khaled, you a beast. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Whatever that Nas and Jay, Lord have mercy.
The album's back, B.
Nah, man. That's because you like that Taylor.
Listen, I don't know about the album, but I'm talking about that song.
That song is
the album is whack. You don't like it?
You know he's just messing with you. Why are you yelling?
Like I'm excited. It's been a long time since I heard real music.
Nah. Let me tell you.
You consider that real music, B?
Nah, a real talk, Steph. You're saying that's hot?
Yeah, y'all bugging.
That song?
Y'all don't think that's fire? Y'all bugging, man.
You're bugging.
Y'all bugging.
Y'all bugging. That song ain't hot.
MC.
Don't add Khaled with this.
Y'all bugging.
Yeah, I can't now. Thanks a lot.
I gotta tell you, the one thing I love about this dude, he hyped it up. No, yo, oh my God, the vocals are in. Oh my God, the vocals are in. Oh,
we the best music.
The vocals, jumping in the pool. Oh my God, he did good with that.
Well, I'm glad to see you two agreeing on something. Too bad. Y'all Negroes don't know.
Y'all are disrespectful.
Jay-Z and Nas probably dropped a classic song in hip hop.
Y'all, you can't be serious right now. I'm revoking your hip hop card.
Literally,
Coinbase.
I think this is a perfect topic to segue in because somebody need to spank y'all asses right now. So the question is, I think Eva Mendes came out with a post.
It was the intro, bro. You didn't talk about yourself. You didn't talk about.
Nah, we don't need to, man. We already went. We already went route. So we said, listen, man. They already know who I am because I'm really famous. Gorgeous just says it. I live it. It's a difference. Feel me? Like my man Hov said, we all got bands. But we just play different drums. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just telling y'all that. Okay. But you know,
Get a drum or something.
Listen, man. I really want to know. We spoke about Eva Mendes, man. She mentioned it was a quote, an article out there about spanking your kid. I really want to know where we stand on it. And I know this topic is gonna probably be, it might be one-sided, being that we're all from African American descent and Caribbean culture. So I'm kind of curious to see what y'all opinions are if you all don't have the same opinion. So I'm gonna start off with MC. So what are your thoughts on spanking your kid?
I don't think it's something that, see, I think in the society we live, we got, abuse and we got spanking. I think it's sometimes You know, if you're gonna wail on your kid to the point where he or she got scars, I think that's a little too much. You know what I'm saying? But you know, spanking your child, whether it's like on the bottom, on the hand, letting them know what they did is wasn't right. And then eventually explaining why that occurred. Because sometimes we may do things and you know beat, but we spank, but we don't really like explain the reason why that occurred. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes it just gets pushed under the rug. But I think if it's you spank and explain, like in the day, back in the days, to get spanked, not knowing why. And I think that was difficult for me to understand why did I get spanked? What did I do wrong in particular? But I think that in today's society, I agree with spanking. And Eva Mendes ended up saying like spanking a kid is equivalent, which I don't agree with, like abusing your spouse in a relationship. And I don't think that's right at all. I think like, you know, I think it's two different things. I think we all, well, I have been spanked, but I think that, you know, once I understood why it occurred, you know, what I mean, I was okay with the spanking. But I think if you just spank me just because, you know, I didn't put the dishes correctly in the cupboard and you just spank me because of whatever, I think that's, you know, I think that's an issue for me. But I'm okay with it. I'm just, as long as it's not abusive. I
I
mean,
mean, that's interesting. And it's interesting because you got a girl. So basically, you know,
I got a daughter.
they always say that, huh?
I got a daughter.
Yeah, you know what they always say.
You
Oh,
say I got a girl. You act like I spanked my girl.
oh, I thought you was.
I got a daughter. I got a daughter.
Wait,
I
so
had
you have a girl, friend?
a daughter. I
Oh,
got-
here we go.
Does you spank?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I don't want you to think like I hit women.
I like that one. I like that one. I threw the alley and my man Gift the Gab. I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
On the
I'm
back of
proud
the
of him.
class.
But,
Thank the baby.
nah, that's a fact. Like, cause you know, as fathers, you know, with daughters, it's a little bit difficult. So I'm glad to hear you say that, because at least you know you stick to your guns and you know you held your ground. So I appreciate that, and you gave a clear explanation as to why you believe in it. We're gonna go on to this brother bottom shelf, and I
Hey,
want to hear your opinion because you always go last, and we're gonna let you know you're not the star of this show. It's me. I made y'all famous.
so speaking to this topic, as a product of abuse, you know what I mean, I came up in a different type of era. And like I remember being on Boston Road at Shopwell Plaza and my mother getting in the car and I said something. I remember what I said. I know I wanted something, but I couldn't get it. And maybe I asked one too many times. And my father turned around. I was in the back seat. And before I knew what was happening, bang. And my tooth flew out and it was on right there. And throughout childhood, there was many like random fights. It ended up being fights. Like I couldn't. Sometimes I go to elementary school. I remember being like tired, and my teacher would be like, "Why are you so tired?" I'd be like, "I couldn't sleep." But the reality was, I couldn't go to sleep because there were times when my father would just get up and he would attack me while I was sleeping over something that might have happened during the day, but he just decided that at that time that's what he was going to do. So, with that being said, one is wording. I never like to use the word beat when I'm talking about children. It's just called discipline. And I have no problem disciplining a child. But after going through what I went through as a child, I knew that I needed to tell my daughter why she was getting disciplined, what time she was getting disciplined. And when the discipline was over, she got a hug and a kiss, and I told her I loved her. And at the age of 10, I said, at this point, you will no longer get physical discipline. You are now old enough to understand that punishments are real and we're not going to do physical whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it never went far. It was like literally over the knee, 1, 2, 3, get in the tub. It was enough of a message to get through. And at 10 years old, I said, now you're growing up. And I'm not going to have you accustomed to thinking that hitting people or beating people is the only way that you can get an answer or get a solution to a problem. We moved on from there. She has gotten physical disciplinary action since the age of 10, and we're fine. That's my viewpoint on it.
Gift the gab, talk on us, Will. What you think?
I mean, all y'all got girls, so I don't have that issue. You know what I mean? I ain't have to. Well, disciplining the girls, yeah. And I'm sure that was a.
What does that have to do with a girl, bro?
Why? Why is that an issue? Like, why can't girls and boys get disciplined the same way?
That's a whole nother type of discussion, I believe.
Oh, there's not a whole lot of
Why?
time.
They're growing up in the same world.
Why you made it a gender thing, bro?
Well, because I'm
MC
the
with
only
a double
one.
standard.
Right? Yeah, Mr. Devastating. Because I'm the only one who doesn't have one. I mean, I have a daughter, but I didn't birth a daughter. So I'm just like raising, rearing, and disciplining was different. Say what, Mr. MC?
You didn't birth the son either, bro.
Oh, here we go.
I'm
He's
just-
on fire. He's on fire. He's on fire.
where is the difference if both boy and girl is gonna grow up in this same co-world, this same society? Why is there a difference when it comes to discipline?
But we're not talking about discipline. We talk about spanking.
I think
No,
that's what we
see,
keep
that's
talking.
where I disagree. I believe that it's all about wordplay. If I say I'm disciplining you, why doesn't that include a spanking?
But
That's
spanking,
discipline.
spanking is abuse, my friend. It's not discipline.
Right, and that's why. But there's the difference. Discipline,
Spanking is not abuse. Beating is abuse.
yeah,
My
that's
friend,
true. Too.
Spanking is abuse.
No,
Why?
spanking. The term spanking is when you use an open hand and like hit an area of the body, like the lower body.
Buttocks.
I got
Alright.
one question.
Go ahead.
Why?
There's several
Teach
reasons.
a lesson.
There's several reasons, but you speak on why you don't like it since you took the floor, and we keep it going, and then I'll give you my reason once you finish talking, because that's what
I don't think spanking works at all. And I think spanking is abuse. I don't think there should ever be a need where you have to hit a child. I think if you can relate to this child or communicate to this child in different ways to the way they understand what you're saying, that they have done something wrong without taking your hand and forcefully hitting them, that's unnecessary. It's unnecessary roughness. You know what I'm trying to say to you?
Well, it's rough if you're being rough, because like the thing is, you got spanking and beating your kid, right? And like my kids don't know what it is to get like beat by me, but they
Right.
do know like a spanking's coming. So like the hand being raised, like I'm never doing this. So the hand being raised is like, oh shit, like all right. Because their fear isn't being spanked. Their fear is you as the parent.
So you have to implement spanking to create fear as a parent.
Have to and what you do in the situation are two different things. The Bible says, spare the rod, spoil the child.
I don't think he meant physically not hit the. I don't think he meant that as what you're saying he does.
If you spare the rod, my brother, you will spoil the child.
Reem, I'm not first. Listen to me. I'm not saying there's a problem with disciplining a child, and you don't think that the fact that you had to raise your hand to hit a child is a clear sign that you haven't figured out a way how to relate to your child, that they have done something wrong without physically putting your hand on them.
I can relate to anybody. I don't mean I'm not gonna get mad at them. You can relate to a freaking to the nigga that pushed you in the store. He probably having a bad day, but you still gonna react by wanting to punch the nigga in the face. It's just
okay.
not.
So what's the reason for hitting? What's the reason for taking your hand and striking your kid?
No, whatever the reason is, I can't give you the reason right now because the situation didn't occur. But it's not about being able to relate. Like relating to your kid, that's foolish.
Lying.
That means
lying is one reason. Don't lie to me.
With a bad report card, and all you see is disrupting in class, defiant and all that. You're not like, man, well, you know what? I remember at fourth grade, I was like you, Ethan, but you know what? You know, pick it up next semester. I hope everything works out for you. You're gonna be upset because especially if this conversation has taken place several times. You understand what I'm saying?
So you're telling me your kid comes home with a bad report card more than two, what was it? what you call it, class marking periods, whatever.
Yeah.
And you've had a conversation and it still continues, and you're at the point now where you think talking no longer works. It's time to strike.
I don't know if it's time. I just know if that emotion is there of saying like, yo, I'm gonna give you a box, I'm gonna give you a box. Cause at the end of the day, I'd rather me mold my kids than
Right.
have the streets do it. Cause guess what? There's things that they'll do that they might not understand in that moment. And then you being so damn passive at home and allowing them to get away with so many things, they go out in the world and do it. And guess what? They might not come back from that situation that they put
But
themselves.
Reem, I didn't say that I was passive, nor did I say I don't implement discipline. I didn't say any of those. What I'm saying to you is this. I personally don't believe that taking your hand and striking your kid for any given reason is any way, shape, or form a proper way to relate that they have done something wrong and this is your discipline or punishment, or whatever word you may want to use.
What do you consider?
So
What do you consider striking?
taking your hand, hitting someone else. That's a strike. That's striking. That's the definition of striking.
Striking?
A
Striking.
you swing at a ball and you miss. But
Okay, you're not tapping them. You're not. Oh, let me tap. You're not giving them a tap, are you? You're not. You're definitely not tapping them.
yeah, you are.
Depends on the
Wait,
age.
You
but
are.
let me ask you a question. You're doing it to the point so they could feel it, right? That's the aim. The aim.
No.
So what is it? I don't understand.
It's everything in total. Like it's not just the actual physical action. It's the image that you're giving. It's the emotion that you're showing. It's the consequence that they're seeing of whatever they've done. Like, yo, wow, I really made my parent this mad. And you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm really, but whatever it is that I'm doing. So having a bad report card is not grounds for it. But if you realize that you've been talking to your child and you see your child going down a certain road, and you say like, yo, you think you're gonna be out here telling teachers the S your thing and all of that stuff, you're gonna go off on them. Are you gonna go and freaking Stone Cold Steve Austin them? No. But you want me personally, I think giving them a box ain't nothing wrong with it because like I said, I'd rather someone I'd rather me being the one doing it than someone else out.
Wait, hold on. So we're teaching that if we want someone to understand that they have done something wrong, and we have tried to verbally explain this over a period of time, once that hasn't worked, it's time to let off a box.
No, we're showing them.
Oh, G Gorgeous, you never been.
Hold on, real quick. We're teaching them that.
You never been spanked?
100%. It doesn't work.
Yes, it did. You wouldn't.
It doesn't.
How
It didn't work for you.
Work. People, spanking does not work.
I'm not listening. I can't hear the answer to the question.
What's the question? Go ahead.
He's talking clear.
How much trouble have you gotten into? Because I remember you even said the people, the grown men around you, they help raise you and all that. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. But you got spanked at home, and I'm sure grown men around you were doing things that they weren't supposed to do. And guess what? You didn't mess with that stuff.
Right.
When you got spanked, did you continue doing the same thing you were doing before you got spanked?
Listen, okay, I'm gonna say no, and I got spanked because of no. Listen, hold on. But I'm saying why it doesn't work. I didn't get spanked because I quote unquote did something wrong. I probably got spanked because I probably came up with my uniform dirty over a period of time, and my dad was like, "Yo, why your uniform was dirty?" And I keep on coming up with the shit dirty, and he felt like hit me was gonna make me not come with it dirty. It doesn't.
You didn't come, so you came after him get your rod slick. You came home the next day with a dirty uniform.
No,
that's the point. It's not just because you're having a dirty uniform, but did you learn how to value those clothes after that? The whole importance of those clothes after that box that he gave you.
Ray, I'm gonna tell you something, right? I made it my point of duty not to come home with dirty clothes, not solely because I didn't want to get hit.
Thank you.
I just wanted to avoid it. Period. I didn't have any encounter with it. But Kareem, that doesn't listen to me. It doesn't mean it hurt, my friend. You have now put up a wall between you and I. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Not necessarily.
Dude. Let me tell you something.
You still have the same sentiment that you had when you got beaten for your uniform. Like Steph getting his tooth knocked out, I get that. Like that's abuse where you will keep that
Right.
feeling. But like your dad teaching you, like, yo, obviously you're not hearing me. I keep telling you stop coming home with your clothes dirty like that. But obviously you're not hearing me. So he give you a box. And yo, it helps mold you somewhat. And I don't think I don't know your story, so I don't think that moment will cause resentment. But getting beat up in the back of the car for something you said, that's grounds for building up a wall. You build up that wall then, but I don't think that wall I don't know the situation. That wall may not exist right now.
But Marine, what I'm saying is if my father had sat me down and quote unquote had a conversation with me and made the points clear as to why me having a dirty uniform is not a good look, I would have preferred that than being hit.
Oh, you would have preferred it, but I'm gonna be real with you. There's an 85% chance that it wouldn't have worked. But I agree that we could agree to disagree. And the thing is, I'm glad that none of these 5 men on this screen right here condone abuse to their children at all. We just want to pop them in the mouth a few times. Nah, I'm just joking.
Nah, but you know, you made a valid point. Like, I'd rather be the one to show my child, other than letting like like we know police officers or anybody else discipline my child. Let me be the one to do it.
Right.
Yo, abuse is abuse, and beating is beating, and whipping is whipping, and discipline is discipline. I like the word discipline because it literally tells you what what this action is supposed to do, and it's supposed to instill discipline within you. When people go over the line, it's no longer discipline, and then it becomes abuse because I'm just getting beat to get beat. Like there's no fucking rhyme or reason to none of this shit. I'm just getting beat. To the day he died, we had a problem because of that. Because I always had to remember times that I went to school that my tooth was not there. Times I had to go to the wait and soak the tooth in milk and wait for my permanent tooth to grow back in because he fucking knocked my tooth out. And as I got older, I said, what the fuck? Like, you're not supposed to do that shit to nobody. And as I grew, it became a resentment. And then what started off as a beating became a fight. So our place was the place where when the cops came down the block at night and I was 16, 17 years old, it was because we was fighting. Not because I was getting beat, because I wasn't getting beat no more. It was like, oh, okay, now I'm of size. Try that shit now. You know what I mean? Like at some point you just start to resonate like this ain't right. So with my daughter, that's why it became important for me to say why, what, where, what time it's gonna happen. The length of it was literally 3 strikes, bap, 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 get in the shower, hug, I love you. You know why. And at the age of 10, it had to stop. Because as men, we don't know our strength. And as a girl, I needed her to understand as a female that a man putting their hands on you does not equate to love. So I was caught in the middle because I do believe that there is something to be said for physical discipline. But there's a way to do it, and you got to be careful.
And you know what I'm hearing? Being a dad, especially an active dad, isn't easy.
It's not.
Male or female, like whatever you have, whatever, it's not easy. So one day at a time. And if you know that you're doing something wrong, check yourself.
Fix it.
And do whatever you got to do to fix it.
Because if you're out here beating your kids, they will remember, and it won't be pretty when they grow up.
But on that,
does not work.
I like to